Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and this is a three-line salamander. Here's a good log. Oh, here we go! There's a salamander. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, check that out! That is a three-line salamander. Look at him! Oh my goodness, look how cute he is. That is awesome. Now, three-line salamanders, they are lungless salamanders. And that means they actually breathe through their skin. It's really cool. And they have a much thinner body than other salamanders that wouldn't be lungless salamanders. Now you can see why they call these three-line salamanders. He's got two golden lines on him, but he's got three big, pretty black lines on him. And look at those little feet. They've got little tiny feet for walking along. Oh yeah, you're cute. Now salamanders, we know salamanders are different from lizards because they're an amphibian. And amphibians need water to survive more than other animals. They actually absorb it through their skin, which is really important. We have a river on both sides of us right now. We're on like this little peninsula, and this is a great place for three-line salamanders. They love moving water, and they love moving water that's right next to a little forest area that they can come up to and get little worms and bugs and stuff. They love to eat worms. That's one of their favorite things to eat. Look at that, he is so pretty. Hey buddy. Now this would be considered an adult three-line salamander. This is a pretty big one right here. And most of his body is actually tail. Look at that. Big long tail, and they got these little cute stumpy feet, little stubby feet, little short things for walking along the bottom. And they like to get right under all the leaves and under big logs and little moist places, but they always like to stay near moving water, permanent body of moving water. Now, like all salamanders, these guys are very, very fragile. Very, very fragile. Chemicals in the water disturb them a lot. Fertilizers disturb them. And anything in the water can really mess with their skin because they have such sensitive skin. They don't have scales like a reptile does. They have the smooth, slimy skin, and it's very sensitive. So it's very important that I wash my hands and keep it wet while I'm handling him, and try not to rub any dirt off on him or get anything else that would have been on my hands onto his skin. Now he's got this little marbled belly pattern. Let me see if I can lift him up real quick. Little marbled belly pattern, all these little blotches all over him. Very cute little fella. Look at that. He's got these big bulgy eyes right on top of his head. And these guys are predators. They like to eat all kinds of little insects. They're mostly insectivorous. And that's what these little salamanders love to eat. Now, another defense that they actually have is they can detach their tail. You see this big, long, pretty tail? It actually makes up 2/3 of their body. They can detach that. And I can tell by looking at this one, he's never had to detach his tail, but their tails would detach if, say, a little garter snake or a little bird would have grabbed their tail. Their little tail will come off and they can take off, and the predator will sit there with the tail thinking, I got this salamander, and they will get away. Now these guys can be found through a pretty wide range from here up north, probably up to around Virginia. And these guys can be a relatively common salamander to find throughout their range, but you gotta be in their specific area, a place that has some moving water in it and has lots of rocks and logs for them to live under, as well as plenty of food. Oh, look at him. Look how cute he is. Now there's a much smaller salamander called the two-line salamander. They don't get very big. They get around that big normally. And the three-line salamander is way, way bigger, but they also have that black stripe down the back. So even if you have a small three-line, then that's a good way to tell if it's a three-line or a two-line. They'll have that black stripe right down the back. Such a beautiful little salamander. And as I said, this is a lungless salamander, and they have a really skinny body compared to other salamanders. Another kind is the mole salamander. That includes stuff like marbled salamanders, tiger salamanders, and all those big heavy salamanders that normally live underground. That's why they're called mole salamanders. But these guys have a much thinner body, and that's how you can tell most lungless salamanders from mole salamanders. Look at you, buddy. Look at those little cute feet. Very cool little salamander. And I don't often find these guys. I'm normally not in an area where they are, but it is always cool to find one of these little salamanders. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you did enjoy, definitely leave a like. And I will see you guys next time. Love that.